Oh my goodness, I'm so excited today. So I get to share again with community what does it take to truly live powerfully? And the reason I put this out into community for free a lot of the time is because it's like we actually know what it takes to live your best life. It's really not, a mystery. So I'm going to go through a presentation that I prepared for paid organization. I'm customizing lots and lots of assets for them, but this is one that I felt like was very clear, very simple. Every week for the next 6 weeks, I'm going to bring some of this content to you. I have to, because I need for you to feel like there is nothing stopping you from living your best life. Absolutely nothing. So stay with me. I'm timing myself. Hold, please. So, hi, this is for Rainier Avenue Radio. It's going to be live, and my clock is ticking. I'm going to do a timer, and I'm going to say start. Maybe stopwatch. Maybe start. Okay, there you go. Hi. So, what's exciting is my name is Dr. Tracy Harrell, and I get to show up today and talk to you about what it takes to truly live powerfully. We have solutions, we have immediate solutions, we have things that work for you right now that you can leverage to improve your performance at work, in your business, in your family, your relationships, your peace of mind. It's all the things, literally. So I'm going to bring in a presentation again. This is something that I've created a few versions of, and this is if we were doing a 6-week empowerment series. Let me just back up real quick. Sorry, if we were doing a 6-week empowerment series, what I would want you all to know and to see is that success is yours. Success is the only option. So if I'm telling you something, again, don't take my word for it. Just do it and see what happens. Can you believe it's August already? I know. It's August of 2024. And that means we actually all have an opportunity to still fulfill those resolutions. Remember, I said recently, resurrect the resolutions. This is how you do it. So stay with me. This is week 1. I'm going to slow down. I'm just going to go slow. I got some videos to show, but I just want to break it down very simply. Okay. So again, this is session 1 of 6 sessions. This is kind of the typical living powerfully experience. And what's exciting is I actually launched my own app. It is not the PQ app. There's a positive intelligence app, which is amazing. But what I did is for groups that I'm working with, if they didn't want to do the positive intelligence app, I'm like, you still got to do something that allows you to check in every day, that allows you to say, hey, here's what I've done to create new neural pathways. Here's how I'm intercepting my saboteur. So this is session 1. And it just focuses on the power of self-command. That's step 1. Again, you can't go to step 2 or 3 or 4 until you really practice and understand the power of self-command. So I'm going to start here. There's probably a video so I'm going to share. But for now, I'm just going to start here and go through this presentation. How about that? That's what I'll do. So again, if it's a 6-week journey, a 6-week series, a 6-week opportunity, and I will make it big again in a second, but if it's a 6-week or 7 weeks that are listed here, is the typical PQ journey, right? So we're saying welcome. What I'm trying to say, what's slightly different about what I do is I don't just talk about positive intelligence. I bring in a number of the other certifications that I have, and I'm a certified success coach through Success Magazine. But positive intelligence is probably the clearest, simplest, especially when you take that saboteur assessment, you see your own saboteurs, you're like, oh, I could probably do some things differently. I could probably do a few things differently. Hopefully you admit that. And if you do, then what you get to see, and I'm making myself teeny tiny, because I want you to read this fully. This is about the living powerfully experience. It's saying this is an overview of our journey, of our full journey. This is what our journey would look like. Just like this, right? A little bit bigger. How's that? Week 1 is this power of self-command. Week 2 is going to be focusing on the judge. The judge is the number one saboteur. So we're going to talk about that next week. The following week, we're going to talk about the accomplice saboteurs. Then we're going to focus on the sage perspective, your sage superpowers. This is like a little bit of what I'm sharing. There's all kind of videos and other content that I bring in, and we ask people to make commitments. And so I do things differently. I just want to clarify that. I do things differently, but I'm okay putting it into the universe because I want you to see what I don't do. Is you see where it says week 7, they start talking about work and life applications. Once you've gone through and you understand the saboteurs, you understand this concept of self-command, you start to really explore my sage superpowers. Then they're like, oh, and by the way, this is how you can apply those things. I don't do it that way. I bring in the work and life applications from week 7. I bring those in starting in week 1. And I actually have people make commitments to what can you do differently. If you've done the saboteur assessment, and hopefully all of you have, if you've been watching this show, Better Together, Living Powerfully, right? It's about living your best life. It's about economic empowerment. It's about personal freedoms. It's about community, showing up for each other. It's all the things, right? Youth empowerment includes all the things. So if it's 7 weeks and the 7th week is work-life applications, I say, let's start with the end in mind. We build clarity on what are your desired goals. So based on that saboteur assessment that you would have taken, what are the things you want to work on first? You probably have a list of 5 things, maybe 10. But here's the first thing. What do you want to work on first? And what we say is, again, session 1 has to be about self-command. Let me make this full screen here for you so you can see everything. Okay, I kind of cut my title off a little bit. Okay, it's okay. So again, session 1 is about the power of self-command. I have to make it a little bit smaller. There you go. That's probably good. You can still see that, right? So we're going to start with an overview. Like, what are we going to do? We're going to start with the 3 core muscles. There's 3 things that you need to do to succeed, to achieve success. We've already talked, we as a group have talked about that, right? We're going to intercept our saboteurs. We're going to create this power of self-command. So I guess that should be first and second. They kind of go together, right? You're going to intercept your saboteurs through the power of self-command. So the first thing we do in week 1 is we say, what is self-command? What's the power of self-command? How do you do it? So I'm going to talk about each of these, but I'm going to go through the list first. So we talked about the 3 core muscles, right? Again, the 3 things you have to do. Intercept your saboteurs, increase your power of self-command. That's the practice of the pause. That's practicing these PQ reps throughout the day. If you get the app, it's super cool. Like I'm gonna go back to the app and start doing it with a different level of energy because I want to show people why it's so important. But like I said, I developed an app that's called the Living Powerfully Experience app. It is not the PQ app. It simply gives you an opportunity to engage. It's going to have a bit of my customized experience of PQ, of positive intelligence. I still highly, highly, highly recommend the PQ app. I'm never trying to do what they're doing. They got something happening over there. And if you're smart, you're going to go and reach out to me at Tracy@itsallbiggerthanme.com, and I'll tell you how you can get it, right? You can get it a number of different ways. So I definitely recommend that. But this power of self-command, it includes the 3 core muscles. I already said what they are. Insight versus muscle. So the reason I'm pausing here is because, let me see if I can make this a little bigger for myself. Hopefully that's big. You got it full screen for you. Insight versus muscle. I just wanted to spend a few minutes on this. And again, I've said this all before. It's kind of a nice little, tight recap. Insight versus muscle means only 20%. 20% of any true transformational change is insight. It's the information that you've learned. Only 20%. 80% of a true transformation is what you practice. It's the muscle. It's mental fitness. It's what have you done with some level of consistency, right? So it's exciting. I get to show up differently because it's like I am different, right? I am different. You'll be able to say that too. We all get to say it. And there's 1,000 ways you can do it. But insight versus muscle is really important. And I think a lot of people want to skip this part because it's not normal. Wanting to truly transform is not normal. So it's okay that you're like, what do you mean? I can't just pay you to come in here and tell us some things every week for 6 weeks and then we're better. That would be nice. But this is about your transformation. I'm guiding you. I'm a Sherpa. I'm facilitating, right? A Sherpa is someone that takes you on a, mountaintop experience. So anyway, I'm taking you on a mountaintop experience, literally. So insight versus muscle. You gotta do the work, right? You got to show up. Now, can I make sure, inspire you and provide you with insights? Yes, I know this stuff like the back of my hand. I've done the PQ mastery. I got multiple certifications. I am very comfortable. This is what I do. Just so we're clear, it's what I do, it's how I do it. So yes, I am a wonderful Sherpa, a wonderful coach, a wonderful facilitator. It's what I do. You can work around, pull you in, and let's go. But you can't just assume I'm going to show up with a presentation, and then in 6 weeks, you're going to have all the insights that you need. It's not about the insights. It's about the muscle. It's about the power of repetition. It's about building new neural pathways. So we create a space for you to be able to do that. So for week one's focus, again, it's just about the power of self-command, right? And we talk about the science of PQ reps, the science. I've said this before. I'm just going to repeat for the newbies or just as a reminder. The science of a PQ rep is about, our brains are beautiful machinery, most powerful in the world, more powerful than any supercomputer that exists, right? There's no AI that can work as quickly as the brains and the neural processors that we have in our brain, the connections. The truth is you can, change how you currently respond to things. So the concept of intercepting your saboteur says you got to, first of all, take the assessment so you can have some idea of what might be showing up for you or for the people around you. Right? Secondly, you want to see them, and then you want to pause with a PQ rep and choose something different. I have a slide here in a minute that I'm going to share, but you want to pause and do something different. Does that make sense? So the science is in your brain. It's like these neural pathways. If you always, when someone says you're, I don't know. So it says someone questions your authority and you get upset because you're like, they're not doing what I told them to do and I know the right way. Your controller might be showing up and you might be, I can't believe that. And you're triggered in some way and you just don't believe that person is going to allow you to succeed because they've now challenged your authority. You're not in control, right? And so, we all get triggered from different things, right? That's why you do the assessment and you find your triggers and then you're like, oh, okay, I can see them now. Oops, I'm on the nose. I hit it on the nose. I can do something different now. So if you're not willing to see your own opportunities, then this is not for you. If you're not willing to practice to doing something differently, this is not for you. The science is not only am I going to practice doing something different, not only am I going to do that, hold on, I'm going to close this door. But I'm also going to, hold please, I'll be right back. Sorry, I know it's live, but I'll keep talking. I'm going to close this door. Sorry, okay, so, sorry about that. Next, I'm back. Sorry, I opened the back door for a second to the dog out and I left it open, but the AC's going and it started to get a little humid. Y'all don't want me sweating in here, do you? Sweat out my curls. You know what? Nobody wants that. Okay, 14 minutes live. Let me keep going. So I was talking about the science of a PQ rep. So you're probably like, what does she want me to do? That little finger rub thing, the breathing 3 times. Slowly and inhale, rub your fingers together ever so slightly so you can feel the ridges of your fingers. Rub your hands together so you can feel the ridges, right? Feel your butt in your chair. Squeeze your toes together. If you're driving and listening to me right now, squeezing, your hands on the wheel and then letting go, right? That's okay too. It's like squeeze and release. So it's all kind of ways that you can do a PQ rep. They all involve breathing. You want to kind of be intentional about your breathing, but you also just want to understand, I'm choosing to do something different right now. Right? I'm just practicing the power of self-command. I'm saying whatever I would have been doing in this moment, instead of doing that, I'm going to just, for 2 minutes, 10 seconds, right? It doesn't have to be a long time. I'm just going to breathe and look out the window. It's, it sounds simple. And look at this tree and breathe. Let's do it together, shall we? Just inhale. But I'm going to look very intensely. Again, zoom. Power of self-command. It's like, I'm going to be laser focused on something else. I'm also feeling my butt in this chair. It's not a very comfortable chair right now, so I'm feeling a little harder than normal, right? I'm going to get a pillow the next time I'm sitting here. I'll be here for 4 more hours. My last meeting ends at 9 o'clock, so I'll be here for a while. So right now, I'm feeling this chair on my butt, right? It's kind of moved around. I am squeezing my toes on the ground. Right? I took my shoes off and I'm kind of squeezing my toes on the ground. So anything where you get to bring your attention to some physical sensation for a shorter period of time, it's the power of self-command. You're like, what? I don't understand. Trust me. Power of self-command says, instead of letting all the busyness of the day swoop you through your day and the day is over and you're like, oh my goodness, what just happened? No. Mm-mm. Yes, that happens to all of us. But what I'm saying is, no, that does not have to be your life, because we're going to practice the power of self-command. And it's in these little moments. We basically say, start your day with 2 minutes of intention. This is what I'm going to do today. This maybe something happened the prior day and you're like, I don't want that to be my outcome. So I'm going to visualize a different outcome for myself. I'm going to visualize something different. So truly, you don't have to wait until you're having a crisis. You want to say, I just want to be better. Like I'm happy right now. I want to be happier. I love my job. I'm doing well, but I actually want to do it with more ease and flow. Yeah, I kind of can see how those saboteurs might show up for me. When they do, I want to already have practiced the power of self-command. You don't have to wait till something triggers you before you practice self-command. We're saying do it in the morning when you first wake up. Do it for 2 minutes. Only 2 every 3 to 4 hours throughout your day. It's just a pause. I PQ rep with my water. So if you do it with something that you normally do anyway, like I drink water. So then I'm going to breathe and be very intentional. I'm going to feel the water going down my throat. Wow, that is so good. I'm going to do it again. I normally drink longer, but I thought I'd give you some auditory response. I normally guzzle. Like I drink slowly, but I don't stop until I'm literally out of breath or something. So this is what we do. Oh my God. I don't know how long that was. I could have timed myself, but that was a big swig of water. And I enjoyed it fully. I think I keep saying this, I've lost 30 some pounds being intentional. I'm going back on it because I've been moving around and eating out a lot. So I have to admit, I haven't been working out as much or being as focused on some other things. Intermittent fasting kind of stopped as well. But I have not stopped being, hydrating. And so just being intentional about things like this. Also, when you eat, you can be intentional about every bite. Don't just gobble, gobble, gobble. Eat, put it in your mouth and chew and, feel the textures. I have a salad over here. I would go, hold please, I'm going to go demonstrate. I'll be right back. I actually made this thinking that I might do it on the show. So now I'm definitely going to do it on the show. Okay, here we go. Yes, I thought I might. So here you go. Here's my beautiful salad. Can you see that? Oops. It's one of those Oriental salads. Oops, sorry. Can you see that? Put the dressing on top. Got my little crunchies, but it's really cabbage. It's kind of like a cabbage fresh cabbage salad. So watch what's going to happen when I put one of these in my mouth. You know, like she's going to eat on the show. I am, because I need you to understand what it means to PQ. So you could probably hear me crunching. If not, I'll over crunch. Hold, please. Oh my God. So I'm hearing them. I'm enjoying this in a different way. I'm not eating it super fast. I'm crunching. I feel the crunch of the cabbage. I could taste there's a different crunch with there's almonds. There's shelled almonds. And then there's these little crunchy noodle things too. Hold, please, as that bite again. Oh. Okay. So, I taste the dressing. The cabbage. Oh my goodness. I'm breathing. That is so fresh and so delicious. Imagine if every bite was just an exploration of delight. That's how I'm eating when I'm not starving. But that's what you can do for every bite. And so how I lost weight, it was just being intentional. This is what the guy said. He's like, do a PQ rep between every bite. I'm like, what do you mean? Is that it? Is it that simple? I swear to God, it's that simple. Now, will you do it? I will. I'm showing up here for the next 6 weeks, and everything that goes in my mouth, I'm PQ repping between everything. I don't know if there's a scale here, but long story short, I'm doing it. And it's about the actions that you're taking. I'm getting an attitude. You like my little neck roll? So now I'm going to drink again. Stay with me. I know it sounds ridiculous, but the level of peace that comes with being able to eat very intentionally. Drink, you do that anyway. Drink very intentionally. Like think about your body is 8% water anyway. So think about how you're fueling your body when you drink water. It's almost gone now. Doesn't take a whole lot of time. It's full of ice. And then water on top of that. But how cool is that? Drink differently. If you're drinking hot tea, I'm from Florida, so I like cold beverages. But if you were drinking hot tea, for example, not similar. You're sipping the tea or you're drinking the tea and you're feeling the warmth go down you're in your mouth and it's in your throat and, in your chest or however far down, you can feel the warmth. And then you're like, And then if it's a herbal tea, I like cinnamon tea and, I'm not really a hot tea drinker, but there's like this lemon ginger kind of tea that I love. I remember orange, lemon, whatever, something like that. Tasting the flavors of the tea. Most people are drinking teas that have a flavor, but you're typically just drinking it. So think about, some people drink coffee and they're like, I have I don't know anything about coffee because I don't actually like the taste of coffee, but whatever. I got my beans harvested from Brazil and whatever it is. So just drink your cappuccino or the chocolate macchiato, whatever it is. Drink whatever you're gonna drink. If it's orange juice, if it's a matcha, whatever. I'm sorry. Whatever it is, drink with intention. Don't say Tracy told me to go drinking. I said drink with intention. I'm also breathing. But I finished drinking and I feel like, wow, that is so good. It's just so good. It feels good. So this is what we mean by the science of PQ reps, right? And the practice of PQ reps. I'm saying do it with everything. Do it, build it into your normal routines and your life will change. This is literally the how do I live powerfully moment, right? Practice PQ reps, build them into your day with whatever you're doing. So drinking, yes. Eating, yes. Brushing your teeth in the morning. Ooh, I love brushing my teeth. I do. I even bought this little thing that allows me to self-clean. I like all that. I got to find it all. Sometimes I buy stuff and then I lose it. I'm going to get it all together so I can be even more intentional with that kind of stuff. But things that you normally do every day. Start your day and end your day with these PQ reps. And then every 3 or 4 hours, just take a couple of minutes. If you can do 15 minutes a day, changes everything. We had to start our day, not had to, but when we were doing the Mastering PQ course, which is a whole exceptional thing. Our goal was to start and end the day with 30 minutes. So I'm going to do that here. That's what I'm jumping right back into where I left off, because I remember being like so powerful. Again, I've been moving and doing some things, so I'll get back to that. So that's part of my practice, because I understand like the importance of it, settling your soul and all the other things. And then we just talk about the daily practice in the app. So again, if you choose to use the app, great. If you don't, we got a backup app, which I'll tell you. We just created a new app called the Living Powerfully app, which is going to be free. Right now, the web version is available. Next month, the Android and Apple versions will be available as well. Right now, it's the web version. It's super good. It's super cool, though. You'll see a little video of that here momentarily. So what I actually also like to share as a part of my experiences is I got to have people do a little bit more than just, explore their saboteurs. Because it's really, remember on that page when I was like the week 7? Week 7 says, how do you apply this? I'm like, let's start applying it immediately. Let's set some goals. Let's explore this concept of your vision. What do you want to be different early on? So that's what I bring in. I want people to tell me, what do you want to see differently? What goals do you want to set? We start that immediately. Then I summarize the saboteurs that I integrate in a number of different ways. I have a few little versions of that I've created. Then we talk about, every saboteur has these wonderful sage benefits, wonderful qualities. When you take the assessment, it's not clear. But I provide a tool that actually says, oh, and by the way, these things right here are really, really good. Like, this is what you want to celebrate. These superpowers are the ones you want. For example, a controller is someone who might come across, if they're too controlling, they might come across as like not creating a space for your team members to thrive because you're doing the things. Maybe you're a micromanager or something. Controllers are also very decisive. You don't want someone who's just, not able to make a decision. And so for me, part of my upbringing is, to show up probably a little. Just had a meeting with some work. I just did some work with Debrina, and she likes to talk about our feminine energy and our masculine energy. And when you're a controller in business, that's kind of what has made me successful. People know, give Tracy some project and it's going to get done. Maybe too fast. It's going to be exceptional. I don't even know how to do basic. Like if I'm doing something, it's like, I don't even want to work with you if you're basic. Like, this is not going to work out. Let's not even work together. Right. I had an experience with a leader that was like less than basic. And I was like, but you asked me to do this, and this is how we're going to get there. These are the 3 ways. What you just said is not going to work. So like it blew my mind that people, aren't willing to be honest with themselves, right, about their saboteurs. I realized that for me, you got to kind of dial it back sometimes, right? Got to dial it back. As a controller, as a hyperachiever, I want to achieve this big thing. Well, sometimes people don't want to achieve all of that, right? You got to make sure your team is going with you and you're not just off creating some magical thing on your own, right? You want to make sure you're bringing your team and your leaders along with you. So again, those saboteurs have strengths. The strength is you go get it done. How you get it done and how people feel about you when you're done is really an important part of kind of refining those strengths. So I do like to emphasize, we call them the sage benefits or the strengths of each of the saboteurs. That's really important. So again, that's work that I'd be more than happy to do with people. Okay, 28. Oops, time for a break. Sorry about that. Okay, yeah, I was going to go on a quick break. We'll be right back. Break. Okay, he'll take a break, but I'm going to keep going. Okay, this was the break. Okay. So where we left off is we were talking about what it takes to be successful, to really live powerfully. And so today's focus is on the power of self-command. I'm moving slow, but I'm hopefully providing you details along the way. So we talked about setting goals, really looking at the benefits of each of those saboteurs. So, they're not all bad. These are the things that have made you successful. You just want to make sure you're not overdoing them. And you want to be sensitive to how you/they might be impacting other people around you, if that makes sense. So, yes. And then we talk about the pod, when you work with a team of people. So this work is great. I like to say it's an individual journey, but it's also a team journey. It really, really is. So you're 500%, 5 times more likely to complete a task when you do it in community. That's important to just understand. So doing this as a team, being committed to each other, showing up every day is really, really, really important. So I asked everyone who's part of the team to say, what are the things that you're going to do individually? And we bust into their focus areas, right? I say, what are you going to do? What are your individual, this language that I use, individual activations? What are you going to do differently, right? And then we take people on a journey. Let me back up. Take people on a little journey. And I'm showing them my Living Powerfully app. I'm super excited about it. Couldn't be more proud. So we'll put this this video will be in the Living Powerfully app, actually. And so mental fitness. The definition of mental fitness is very simple. It's your capacity to respond to life's challenges with positive rather than negative mindset. Basically, with the positive outcome. You want positive outcomes. You want to have a positive experience, right? So you want to assume that it's a good thing, not a bad thing. So you assume not it's a curse. It's the worst thing that's ever happened. Every situation can be turned into a gift and an opportunity. If you believe that, that's kind of how you get to mental fitness of that's the practice. That's the sage perspective is what we call it. So this overall concept of mental fitness is, we talked about this focus on peak performance. So not just performing, can I get it done? Can I do it at my peak, right? Like, am I using the least amount of energy to get the most done, right? Am I maximizing the use of my team? These are all the important things. Having peace of mind and well-being. Am I stressing myself and others out unnecessarily? I'm just saying, we do. That's what the saboteurs do. They lie to us. They make us think that we got to be stressed out and anxious. It's not true. A lot of them are anxiety-based, right? Fear-based. It's not true. So when you think about your impact on others, that means this whole healthy relationships thing, it matters as well, because you're now going to see yourself clearly, be willing to see yourself clearly, be willing to pause when those saboteurs show up, right? Anyway, this is another slide that I created, and I really like this slide a lot. I just pulled this one together. So it's a Living Powerfully experience. It's basically, when we talk about the power of self-command, we're basically saying you just need to use the PQ reps to build your mental fitness. It's that simple, right? You're going to start by simply practicing the pause. Practicing the pause with the PQ reps. So this fork in the road slide, that's a very standard PQ slide, and you can find that anywhere. I just kind of wanted to clarify that the power of self-command is just saying, I'm going to build my mental fitness by practicing my PQ reps. So when an event happens up here, these are neural pathways. This is your brain, right? These are the neural pathways. When an event happens, hopefully my phone is still charging and my timer is still going. I do see there, very good. I do see it here on the live as well. Okay. So again, these are neural pathways. So when an event happens, whatever that event is, it could be waking up in the morning. I'm going to pause. I'm going to breathe. Right? I'm going to feel my feet on the floor. If I'm sitting up in bed, if I'm laying down, I'm just going to feel my neck. Whatever it is, you're going to choose. Or maybe I look up at the ceiling and look at a beautiful picture I have, or look at a quote, whatever it is, you choose. It doesn't matter. APQ rep, and you'll find the ones that you like the most. Some will work for you, some will not. When I say rub your fingers together slowly and feel the ridges on your fingers, some people are like, I don't feel the ridges. They're moving all fast. Slow down. Slow down. You want to move so slow and touch your fingers so gently. You're not doing this. I don't feel no ridges. No, you don't. You got to slow down, right? And feel the ridges, all right, on your fingertips. Do the same thing like this, the palm of your hand. Just feel the sensation of one hand rubbing down the palm of the other. Ooh, right? How many times have you ever just like paused to feel your fingers on your hands, right? If you, it's just, you're just, it's laser focus. That's what a PQ rep is. So it's a laser focus. It's this concept of I'm going to laser focus in. Okay. So you're going to intercept your saboteurs. Sorry. What this does is it allows you to intercept your saboteurs. But again, you're doing it first thing in the morning. You're doing it throughout the day. You are doing it in such a way that you're fueling yourself, right? You're going to intercept your saboteurs. You're going to be able to pause and choose. You see, this says pick your rep, pause and choose. And you want to celebrate. When you do something that's aligned with intercepting your saboteur, when you do this, you're like, oh my God, I just did a PQ. I just practiced the power of self-command. I just made myself pause and feel my butt in this chair. I just made myself pause and breathe for 2 minutes and squeeze my toes together. I was driving and I squeezed the wheel and let go. It's like tense and release kind of a thing. All of those things matter. All of those things matter. They're all very cool. So just FYI, you want to celebrate each time you do anything that's helping to move you toward your goal. You can accomplish any goal that you desire, anything. That business you want to start, that relationship that you want to improve, all those things are possible, right? It says reduce stress. These PQ reps allow you to reduce your stress because, again, it's that amygdala that is that fight or flight, that energy, that's those stress hormones. You literally get to reduce your stress because you're saying, I'm just going to focus on my breathing. You bring the control back to your prefrontal cortex. Your creative side is now taking over. And there's no fight or flight, right? That tightening of the chest, the holding of the breath. That's why we're very intentional about when you do a PQ breath, whatever it is. When I was drinking, I was breathing too. Because sometimes you can drink and that was the breath at the end. It's kind of hard to drink and breathe, but I've practiced, right? So you want to breathe and drink if possible. Same with your eating, right? You want to make sure you're doing it slow enough that you're enjoying the bites and the crunch and the taste and the texture and all the things. And then when you're done, PQ rep again in between. 3 breaths. Can you imagine? I don't necessarily have to slow down on my drinking, but eating. Can you imagine doing a PQ rep between each bite? Like this salad will probably last me an hour. Also, I'm not going to take another bite now, but just the concept so that you understand. Like if I take a bite and then I'm chewing it slow and I'm breathing and then I'm drinking because I want to be intentional, I'll probably fill this up 3 or 4 times, right? And then I'll have another bite. This is one salad. If I'm very intentional, it changes everything. And I'm excited to get back to it. Because I'm teaching it, then I got to do it. I got to show up, right, in excellence. So it talks about increasing your focus. Again, how many times do we just allow ourselves to focus on a thing? Maybe I'm looking at a picture, I'm looking outside at a tree, or I'm looking at someone in a meeting and I actually see their beautiful eyes. Oh, I didn't know you had golden flecks, right? Oh, I didn't know your eyes are hazel. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, okay, right? Whatever it is, don't follow my lead. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, when you're sitting across from someone, I love that. I love that. I love your tie. I love your scarf. Right? So be complimentary. Increase your focus on the people that you're connecting with. So people say, you know what? There's people in your life that I'm sure wish they could spend more time with you. Really, they need more quality time with you. They need time when you imagine going home to your significant other and just sit in front of them. You'll freak them out in a good way. But sit in front of them and just look at them. Maybe hold their hand and, feel the feeling of their hands and yours. All right, how long has that been? Like, just really feel the texture of their skin. Look in their eyes, smile, maybe even caress their face. Maybe run your hands through their hair. I'm getting a little excited. Hold on, please. Right? Like, allow yourself to be like, oh, honey, right? All right, there's this little spot in the back where you can just massage, right? I'm just saying, like, imagine just like, right, just this soft touch, those little soft little baby hairs that we all have at the edge, or like on the front of their face, touch their ear really gently, right? You're feeling it, but so are they. Honey, I love you so much. Say the words, right? I'm assuming it's a loved one. I did say significant other, didn't I? I did. Okay. So that's what we mean by really increasing your focus, improving your relationships, improving your work relationships as well, is just by being more intentional, minimizing your saboteurs, making sure you're clear how you impact others at work. So let me keep moving. Okay, I'll keep going. We talk about the power of self-command. This is a cute little slide, right? We've probably already seen this one, but it only takes 10 seconds to do a PQ rep. Now, I made some edits to this next slide. I'm like, build this into your daily routine and share it with your team. Because I created this new Living Powerfully Experience app, I'm like, I need for y'all to show up for yourself. If you touch, if you listen, you could be listening to the furthest sound. I want to just listen to the birds chirping or smell, inhale. I want to look at whatever it is. Like, you get to decide, but do it. Just do it. Practice it, whether it's 10 seconds or 2 minutes or 15 minutes. You want to use your senses, right? You want to put pay full detailed attention to whatever the thing is. And you also want to breathe while you're doing it, right? And focus on whatever it is. That's a PQ rep. So if you can do that in the morning and then every 3 to 4 hours for just 2 minutes, you can do it longer, but it only takes 2 minutes, right? We talk about 10 seconds or 15 seconds, right? In a moment. So just whatever you can do, it is about doing it, right? And then doing more of it. And then that's mental fitness. So we talk about setting personal goals and professional goals. In my app, I have these categories because we just did a series that was called the Getting Better Together Empowerment Series, and it was getting healthier, happier, wealthier, and wiser. So that's how I kept those themes, because I'll be doing that again in community. I think about getting happier and getting healthier and getting wealthier. Those things are important, but we also wanted to be very intentional about you leading and transforming. What that looks like as it relates to PQ are really doing things like taking these PQ breaks, right? I'm practicing the pause. I'm seeing my saboteur. So you're able to go into my little Living Powerfully app and you're able to set goals, decide what you're doing. And if you were performing at the highest level, if you had less stress, more energy, what would life look like? It'd be amazing. That's what it would look like. So we say set some goals and decide, what do you want? Oftentimes we don't even set goals. So we want to be very, very clear about how we set our goals. What are we going to do differently? And this is how you get to show up differently, right? I love this. So we talk about PQ powered actions. They're listed in my app, they're listed under leaders. And so it's all these things, right? I took a PQ break. I'm moving toward a goal. I did a thing. I just celebrated a success. So you'll see when you go into the app, and here's how you get to the app. I'm going to probably do a quick demo. What I said first is that we're a team. This is an individual journey, but it should be a group journey as well. That's why I show up here every week, because if you're like, hey, I did a thing, I did this, and I want to keep doing this, this is how you do it. You show up for yourself. You show up right here on this station, right? And you decide that I'm going to stay close to the circle, right? Circle, a team, a pod. I call it a circle. You see these little images here? People are like around a circle, and there's a fire in the middle of that circle. And so we're saying stay close to the circle, stay near the fire. So every time you do something towards your goal, you are sharing that in the app. You're sharing that with your group, with your team. And that's just like you putting another log on the fire. So you're helping to warm everyone up. You're helping to create an even brighter light, right? That's kind of where the visual comes in. If you know you're being guided by the light, right? The fire is keeping you warm. Then know that when you do something positive, it adds a log onto the fire. So you're helping to keep someone else excited. Oh, oh, she just put in the app that she did something. I'm going to go do something now. Oh, I did that earlier. I didn't even document it. Your brain didn't even record it. That's why the other thing is you're recording it in the system because you want your brain to record, oh, she's doing something different and she's very happy about it. This is what she wants us to do in the future. She wants us to celebrate when she pauses and focuses. Right? This is a good thing. So this is how you create new neural pathways, the neuroplasticity that people are talking about, right? That means you can create new neural pathways. What you used to do, you don't have to do anymore. You can pause it, you can do it, and it's just practice. It's just simple practice. So this is what we're doing. I started this other group on 8/8. We're meeting bi-weekly for 6 weeks. And I do have an app. And I like to say, this is my quote that I love to say, is being in is the win. So be 100% in. Right? You can watch the recorded videos, ask people if you miss out, and if you don't see someone in the app, reach out to them. Like we're a community. Nobody left behind. Just saying. Let me see. I think I'm still good on time. I got 10 minutes. Okay. So we talk about pod commitments. We want people to report in daily in the pod, even if it's just 30 seconds, a single sentence. You don't really have to do a sentence in my app. Right? If you want to say, hey, what goals am I focused on? What's working for me? What could be improved? Where am I having challenges? Maybe I can't focus at all. That too should be documented. This is not just about saying, oh, I did great today. Like, man, I tried to focus and I was so distracted. Thanks for the update. Here's what you could do differently, right? And again, reach out to each other. If you need support, reach out to each other if someone is not showing up for themselves and for the team, for the circle, right? Because everybody who put the log on, that is part of our growth, right? I love this heart and mind, right? That's all you need. So this is my new app. I'm so excited. It's the Living Powerfully Experience app. So the web version is available. Here, I'm going to click on the link. Actually, I'm not right now, but I will show it to you in a second. What this actually does, let me just go back here. This is what it looks like. Go back to this slide. So this is the PQ app, and y'all, I love the PQ app. It's the Positive Intelligence app. So you can reach out to me. It's wonderful. It has all the videos, all the modules. It has this PQ gym, which allows you to have, to choose different things, but it's also customized. It has content, a daily focus that's customized based on who you are. Like, I love it. I'm looking forward to just doing it again, just because I'm leading a group. So I'll be bringing some stuff from the PQ app that I did, to remind people of what they can do. But the Living Powerfully app is basically giving them a couple ways. So I did this for Uplift Northwest. It's an organization that's been in Seattle for 100 years. It used to be called the Millionaires Club. And they provide resources to help individuals in community live independently, right? To live a substantial life. So they help them with workforce development, training, and community. It's very exciting stuff. So what I asked, this is kind of how it looks when you go into the app. This is the Living Powerfully app with Positive Intelligence, Getting Better Together. It's kind of the theme that I use. And this says, reach Tracy. So you click there, you want to email me, tune in. There's some videos that are already there of other presentations and things I've done. There's a video survey here that says, basically, who are you? And you can provide me input and insight. There are groups that I've already done that are set up here that I'm building out. Then there's the actions that you can take at the very bottom: the health, the happy, the wealth, and the leader. We'll probably figure out some other names for that. And I think it has some imagery there as well for these boxes. But at this point, you click on health, it actually, and I'll probably do an even deeper demo at some point here. But when you click on health, I'll stay here. I think I'll stay here. Yeah, I'll just stay here. Okay, I'll stay here and we'll keep moving. So when you click on health, it actually says, did I eat healthy? Did I drink water? Right? Did I move? Did I get physical? So it lets you choose something, and then you can just click on a link to say, yep, I want to track it. And then it'll put a image in for you by your name and says, oh, this person was getting healthier. Same for happy. Oh, I spent time with a pet. I spent time with family. I spent some alone time. I listened to a podcast. I watched some, whatever, read a book. So whatever you do, right, You click on happy, you can track that as well. Same for wealth. Oh, I saved some money today. I stuck to the budget. Whatever it is, if that's an area of focus for you. And from our surveys, these are the 3 areas where people wanted to get healthy, wealthy, and wise, right? And happy, getting happier. And so under leader, again, is where I put the PQ focused actions and steps. So again, did you breathe? Did you practice the pause? Did you do your PQ reps? Are you moving towards your goals? Right? Did you see your saboteurs? Are you intercepting your saboteurs? Did you practice the sage perspective? So any of those things are kind of under leader, because we're saying, are you leading and transforming? When you lead, when you create your sage, right, your perspective that's not negative, right? When you create the best of yourself, all that positive energy is contagious to other people. So you're leading and you're transforming. But when you do that, you're helping others to transform as well. It's very exciting. Okay, I'll go to the next slide. So this is how you log in. When you log in, and I will put the link in the chat. I'll send it to Daniel. He'll put the link in the chat to the Living Powerfully app as well. But you access the app. You're going to enter your email address, and most people will just enter their email address and log in. And what we basically are saying are have fun, right? Acknowledge every success, even the smallest action item. Basically, that's the process. That's kind of how you create your new you. That's it. So I'll move quickly through this. So I did add an appendix, and I was like, what would happen if you were more in command of your mind at all times? What would be different? The answer is simple: everything. The power of self-command changes everything. What if you could, no matter what was happening around you, you maintain your cool? What if, no matter what thoughts came in your head, you were able to push those negative thoughts out and stay focused? Think about how much time we waste, right, with shenanigans. I call this saboteurs showing up shenanigans, right? Think about how much time we waste. So if you're like, I don't have time to be doing this, practicing self-command, honey, if you could put 2 minutes a day to practice self-command, think about how many hours we waste with them saboteurs showing up, right? Having us do some things and having to back up. And now we've thought a thing and we've wasted time and we've negatively influenced someone else. It's a way, it's calculate just for 1 week. Calculate how many times your saboteurs show up and how much time you probably had to, if you were honest with yourself, you'd see that this investment in time, 15 minutes a day, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, right, throughout the day, is a huge savings, and we want this for you. So what would change? Through the power of self-command, everything changes through the power of self-command. I love this a lot. This is also one of my favorite slides. It's just the PQ Mastery Program. This idea of transforming. You're that little caterpillar that's about to turn into a butterfly. You're in that position where you're going to do the work. You are. And then you're not even going to remember when you become this butterfly. You're not even going to remember what it was like to be the caterpillar, because you are out there doing your thing, living powerfully. This is what I want for each of you. This is why I provide this stuff for free in community, because I'm like, we know what it takes to be successful. See your saboteurs, intercept your saboteurs, power of self-command. This is a PQ rep, doing these PQ reps. It's so simple. Okay, back to this, the fork in the road, same visual, right? When something happens, pause. Before something happens, pause. I actually like to assume people are actually building their force field around them, right? That's really what you're doing. You're building a force field. Every time you do a PQ rep, so then anything that's coming your way that would be a distraction, that would be some negative energy, you're like, nope, nope, not today, not having it. Okay. 10-second PQ reps. We talked about that. We talked about the sage perspective. Just want to repeat, every situation, every outcome or circumstance can be turned into a gift and an opportunity. And you might be like, well, how exactly do I do that? We'll talk about that some more in another week. We've talked about it in detail prior, but basically you can accept it. If every situation can be turned into a gift and an opportunity, just accept, okay, it is what it is. Every time a negative thought or a memory of something comes and it looks like it's going to be a setback of some sort, pause, do your PQ reps, and let it go. Because you're now focused on something. You're not thinking about the future, what could be happening. You're not thinking about the past, because all you got is the present. So you're like in this moment, right? I'm feeling the breathing 3 times, whether it's 15 seconds, 15 minutes, whatever it is, whatever it takes, right? But you let it go. You get to shift your mental focus. You get to decide what success looks like. That's the exciting part of this. So you can accept it or you can convert it. You can be like, okay, something happened. Back to that little image where there's an event and then you get to pause and choose, right? If you're going to choose to believe that every situation can be turned into a gift and an opportunity, oh, I didn't mention that you get to create the gift. Yes, that's living powerfully. You get to decide, first of all, it's going to be a gift. I don't know what to do, divine intervention, or I'm going to do A, B, C, and D. I'm going to engage. Remember those superpowers we talked about? Being able to empathy, right? The power of being more empathetic, exploring, asking questions with no judgment, innovating. We talked about that as well. I think I got 2 more minutes, I think. If you need to stop early, it's fine. I think I'm good. And then this is the simplicity of the operating system. Just want to end with this slide. If you're feeling any negative emotion, stop and just recognize you are in saboteur mode. Do some PQ reps to quiet the saboteurs and to activate the sage. Again, there's more practice around the saboteurs, things you want to hear and know. There's more practice around the sage, thing you want to hear and know. But if you understand that the sage perspective can be assumed, can be implemented just by choice, that's the pause and choose. Choose a sage perspective. Every situation, whatever is going down right now, can be turned into a gift and an opportunity. Period. And then you can generate the gift. Again, that's the work. But it all starts with the power of self-command. So that's where we started today. That is it. Yay. Oh my goodness. That was fun. Oh, that was so awesome. So in summary, thank you. Sorry, I got a little excited. In summary, today was a focus and a deep dive on the power of self-command, the power of self-command. So you get to show up in full integrity. You get to show up for yourself in a different way. You get to see those saboteurs, intercept them, decide, I want to actually visualize a different outcome. That's why you're pausing and breathing. You can do all kind of stuff doing your PQ reps. We'll talk about that later. But just doing them, just pausing, looking, seeing something different, like all that stuff is super cool. So anyway, I'll figure my hair out later. There's something for my walk. I went out in the garden. Sorry. I was out in the garden just now. So you all get to live powerfully. You have everything you need to do so. And I will continue to put information in the universe. So what does it take to live powerfully? That was the question of the day. What it takes is for you to 3 things. And we're going to focus on number 1, the power of self-command, intercepting those saboteurs and sage perspective today. Self-command. Breathe, 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 breathe and choose. Choose joy. That's it. Oh my goodness, Daniel, that is perfect timing, I think. Thank you. Rainier Avenue Radio. And next, we have Lid Line Sports. Woo! Thanks. I love it. Let's see if I can figure out how to. Oh, there it is. Oh, sorry. Am I ending it? Oh, end stream. There we go. Bye. End stream.